My name is David Okinyi. I think most of the time when we share our experiences, something that's really powerful is sharing our stories. As Josiah already shared, we learn from the stories of other people, the path they have taken through life, and how they have tackled the challenges that some of us maybe are experiencing. I joined the Wings to Fly program in 2010. I was among the first cohort, and I can say that it has been a journey of transformation, 14 years. And when I joined the Wings to Fly program, we were only 166 in the whole nation. It was very competitive by then. And I think it's through the mentorship that we are doing here that I think that has really enabled us to walk the journey that we are sharing. When I joined the Wings to Fly program, as the same story with Josiah, came from a really humble background raised by my grandmom. And I think my presentation today would be titled, Keeping the Dream Alive. Keeping the Dream Alive. I think when we are young, we really have big dreams. And as we experience life, as time goes on by, sometimes we feel like losing hope, right? Pengine uko class, kuna assignment inakusumbua, kuna exam hujafanya vizuri, kidogo kidogo unapigiwa mzazi is sick at home, or maybe one of your siblings is not doing well. So with time we experience these challenges and we tend to forget the dream that we had when we were young. And I think through the power of resilience from everyone we have on the panel and many of us who are here, we can always keep the dream alive. And I would first appreciate everyone who is here. Reflecting your life, let's say 5 years ago, I think all of us, we've really made tremendous improvement and achievement. We can just clap for ourselves, because sometimes we do forget. Yes, so as I mentioned, I joined the Wings to Fly program in 2010, and as many of us are already doing, it was through hard work and prayers and the support that we do get from the people around us. Strong mentorship. Because I think we as young people, sometimes we think that we know it all, but through sharing among ourselves, getting the knowledge from the people who have walked the journey, I think is really important. And I think that's what has kept me and many of us here. So I joined the University of Nairobi for a year. I was pursuing actuarial science. And as Josiah also shared, that when we keep the dream alive and think beyond where we are really able to achieve a lot of things. And that's why I started by saying, keeping the dream alive. When I was in high school, through the Equity Group Foundation, we were exposed to application abroad, something that I started doing in Form 3. And just as I was talking about the pressure, there's always pressure in high school. I took 9 subjects through my evolution and, just making sure that I'm always on toes. And I was able to start doing my SATs and ALT exams. And I was admitted to Arizona State University through the MasterCard Foundation that we are already exposed to. And this is why we've come here, to share some of the opportunities that perhaps some of us might not know. I know for some of us, you might be thinking that, okay, wamekuja kutuonyesha, how well they've done for themselves. No. I think we are sharing our journey so that you can also reflect on your journey, then pinpoint the areas you need to improve on, because even for us, we're still learning a lot, we're still improving, and make sure that we follow the right paths to achieve whatever we want to achieve and the aspirations we have. So I joined the Arizona State University, and I was really an active student, joined the student politics. Being that I came from the village, I think when I joined the Wings to Fly program, I don't think I could even express myself well in English. But I think through learning and always putting myself in places where I felt very uncomfortable, but I knew that it was through a matter of time that I would learn and just move one step at a time. So I joined the student politics. I was the senator of my college, College of Liberal Arts, Arizona State University, where I was representing over 25,000 international students. And I think through the mentorship, I got the opportunity to visit the Washington, D.C., where I worked at the McCain Institute as an intern for almost a year. Then with that, worked in the US for 2 years in the insurance industry. Then decided to save money to pursue my master's. I pursued my master's in finance. Undergraduate study, I studied economics and business, concentrating in global politics. And after my master's, I joined the Baobab team, Ed Plus, at Arizona State University in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. So that's a snippet of my journey that I think most of us share. We have different paths. Perhaps what we'll share here is just expose you and share that there are a lot of opportunities out here, and the world is shifting. I think some years back, there were not many opportunities within the continent, within Africa. And as time goes by, the world has realized that the young people in Africa are very talented, they're very smart, very ambitious, very hardworking, and everyone wants to impart our lives in one way or the other. And I think that's where we are coming from, to share those experiences. I know by a show of hands, how many people are in first year? First year? Yeah. Second year? We have second year, third year. We also have third year, fourth year. Yes. And I think we are coming at the right time, that when we talk about scholarships and someone is asking themselves, okay, you are talking about scholarship, perhaps you are that smart student, right? Maybe ulianza mapema na mimi naona classes zingine zinachanganya kidogo. How does this really relate to me, right? How can I really connect the dots as me as a person to really get this scholarship? And I think these are some of the instances that we really have to challenge ourselves. And when we talk about scholarship, when we talk about global opportunities, the world has really changed a lot. The world has changed in terms of employability. The world has changed in terms of where we get the global opportunities. You might be in Kenya, but you have a global opportunity from where you are. We as a young generation, we are very lucky, very, very lucky to have internet. And most of us have got the opportunity to travel in different countries within Africa. And I think Kenya is really blessed. Kenya is really blessed. We really have strong internet. We really have a strong education system. And I know it's my first time here in Kirinyaga. I've had the opportunity to visit different countries on the platform of empowering either high school students, the professors, for example, in Ethiopia. We do have a project in Ethiopia. And I can say that Kenya will really advance, and we have all the facilities. I can see from your institution, you really have really, really great facilities to enable you to move to the next step. So I prepared a presentation on MasterCard Foundation scholarships and global opportunities. I won't really dwell so much in the presentation. What we'll do is to talk heart by heart and share what can really work for us, okay? As I mentioned, an overview of the MasterCard Scholarship Foundation. These are opportunities for mostly sub-Saharan African students. How does it apply to your situation? You're already in a university, right? How does it apply to you? So I think this can be a good opportunities if any of us or any of you is struggling in class. Then you think about ways to improve your grades, ways to connect with people who have got these opportunities, and say if you want to pursue masters for those ones who are final year, then you can start thinking about, okay, what's my interest? Do I have the chance to apply for this scholarship, and how do I go about it? So that's the overview of the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship. And in terms of the reach, it's mostly African students. The impact you already see from Josiah, and many of us will share. Eligibility, it's based on merit and the needy students. And as Josiah mentioned, it's quite competitive. So if at all you are thinking on applying for these scholarships, you have to make sure that you really start working on your essays, on you as a person. Because most of the time we think about these opportunities, we think about classes, but it's all rounded. It's all rounded. How do you carry yourself as a person? How do you treat someone who is next to you, who is a student? Josiah mentioned about the power of sharing. Because we can see that as much as we are from the Equity Leaders Program, it's because of the friendship, it's because of sharing resources that we've been able to make steps in our lives, and also even be able to come here. So I think what Josiah shared, sharing is really key. If you're in classes and you're struggling, or you're doing well and someone else is struggling, please make it a habit of helping someone next to you. Because from my experience, most of the people who are my friends right now are the people we really work together with, either in college or high school. And as we say, there's deep friendship in misery. Hakuna venye utasahau mwenye alikusaidia when you are really low. So let's encourage each other on sharing opportunities. And these are some of the benefits that we will highlight kidogo. The benefit of studying abroad. I will also highlight the benefit of studying within the country. Because when we talk about this, someone might feel that, okay, I don't think I want to go abroad, right? Does it mean that that opportunity is not for you? But I think some of the benefits that we get from studying abroad is diverse offerings, and Josiah really captured that, meeting different people. And even within the country, we are already very diversified in terms of our talents and our experiences, and harnessing those experiences as we share among ourselves we already have a very rich diversity. If you also think of having more exposure and studying abroad, that would really be a good opportunity. There's innovative curriculum, and as I mentioned, I've had the opportunity to visit different countries, more so in projects dealing with strengthening e-learning, and I think in Kenya we're already really doing well. And I can tell from your institution is already doing well in terms of curriculum. You have the global perspective that if you're not able to go abroad, that's something that doesn't really interest you, there are people who have gone through those experiences and they can share. And nowadays we have the power of internet. You can just go to the YouTube, just Google school. For example, if you're interested in Arizona State University, Google the school. Go to the YouTube and see their daily life, because we are not competing among ourselves only. Nowadays opportunities have been brought closer to us. You are competing probably with someone in your class, there's someone in the University of Nairobi, there's someone in Kabianga, and there's also someone in Harvard. Once we graduate, let's challenge each other to look for the same opportunities that these people get, because we have the power of internet. Personal pathways, I believe this is something that the school is already doing, and I can tell from what the Dean of Student is doing for him to create time and be with us here. I know the school is already working on personal pathways, so it's among ourselves to come together as a group and share with your friend, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Once you graduate, where unataka kuwa nini? And once you share, how can we support each other? Yeah, because to graduate From our experiences, you realize you want to apply for jobs. You send someone your resume to help you review your resume. Perhaps they're busy, but I'm telling you, the person next to you will never be busy for you, right? They will always, because they know you in details. They know you personally. So, personal pathways. And for the scholars program, there is strong mentorship, which we already doing here. We have the well-being support system. We have the dean of students, which I believe is really supporting all of us. We have the career development, and I think this. I went to the University of Nairobi. I studied in Kenya, then I studied abroad, and I think this is where we always have challenge, a big challenge in terms of career development, because most of the time we really focus on books sana. Hadi tunasahau tukigraduate, how do I translate what I learned in class to the outside world? And I think even most of our teachers are really challenging us that usikae tu kwa vitabu pekee. Yes, you might be good in books, but it takes a lot of things to really get a good opportunity. It takes a personal growth. It takes working on yourself in terms of confidence, communication, and we as young people managing our attitude and expectation. Knowing how to resolve things in a very positive attitude. Ukikosana na rafiki yako, how do you resolve it? So you see, those simple things that we normally do in class, the simple things, how we relate with our parents, how we relate with our siblings, those translate to now work. And when teachers talk about career development, it boils down to you as a person. How do you improve yourself every day? Ukiamka, do you have somewhere written, ama kwa kichwa unasema, leo nataka kuachieve by 5 p.m. perhaps nitakuwa nimesoma hii subject, nitakuwa visit one of my friend, we talk, because again, we hear about a lot of mental issues and people going through pressure. Kuna pressure mingi, sindio? But when you talk about these things, they become really easy. So having a plan on what you want to do per day, when we talk about global opportunities, if you don't study abroad, LinkedIn siku hizi utaenda jobs, alafu you can filter your searches, angalie the hybrid jobs. Mshaona hiyo, sindio? You can filter the hybrid job and unaenda office twice, maybe in a week. You can also filter by the online opportunities, so that opportunities where you are. We bring global opportunities to where we are. And this comes from exposure. This comes from pushing ourselves. Mentorship, we already talked about that. Campus life. We have different campuses life, even hapa. That's why nilikuwa nasema, ukiwa in your campus, do you structure your day? Do you structure your day that unajua, I need to do this, right? By the end of this day. So having a clear timetable. Na hizi vitu ndogo zikusaidia kabisa. Because sometimes we really mistake the small things like having a timetable. This is what sets the difference between someone who is really moving smooth in achieving the aspiration and someone who is just there. Because we really have to push ourselves. I'll mention about leadership. I already talked about opportunities, either local opportunities or abroad opportunities. It's all about leadership. Now leadership inabuildiwa pole. And we really have to be kind to ourselves. Because I think when I joined the Wings of Life, I could not even stand in front of people. And perhaps you are that person. Sindio? Yaani unajaribu lakini unaona bado nichanganya kidogo. But having a clear path, unasema, okay, when I went to the US, as I said, I really struggled with the first semester because the accent was so weird and so foreign. There was a big culture change. And I think the worst of my performance was probably the first semester, but I noticed, okay, I need to do something. I need to learn the culture of these people. So what do? Let me start going to the African Student Association. Then hapo nikaenda
participate in the leadership, then you build courage kidogo, then now let me go and apply for being a senator of the school. Then you go there and you realize, cool, these people are very smart. So what do I like to them? Okay, let me know how to communicate. Let me know how to relate to people. And this translates to all of us on your campus, right? Kuna leadership organizations. Perhaps you are that person when unasimanga, I don't think that interests me that much. But hizi vitu kusaidia. Unaona mtu kama kuna leadership opportunities, ashakunotia anaongea. But pole pole ana build confidence. Sivyo? Na wewe mtu mwenye unakaa hapo, it takes a lot of time to really build that confidence for you. And I know there's also kuna watu wengine wako we call ourselves introverts, right? There's a big difference between introverts and confidence, right? You might not be that person who talks a lot, but if you're given an opportunity to tell us who you are, you're confident enough. You're confident enough to really express yourself. It doesn't mean that you're the most talkative, but building that confidence. So, forging pathways kujua, I'm this type of person. This is what I need to work on. This is how I need to build my confidence. This is how I need to expose myself and train myself to communicate. This is how I need to manage my temper, attitude. Internships, very important. Sometimes, come up in our holidays, we tend to go back home and just relax, which is good because we support our parents, but again, we have to grow. So make it a habit. During the closing period, tafuta kitu tofanye. It doesn't need to be a formal job. When I was in the US, I worked in a restaurant, taught me a lot, really taught me a lot. I was every day, unatengeneza food hapo na pale. I worked in place of kupanga dawa, then deliver it to people. There are those opportunities that really shapes you and really help us to learn how to relate with other people. So those experiences, ndogo ndogo, ukimaliza shule, holiday, usikae nyumbani, tafuta kitu, hata kama ni una struggle, you guys can combine yourself, muishi pamoja, ama just go volunteer yourself. Sometimes I know that it's quite tricky because the cost of life is also hapo, lazima upande mat, ukienda nini. But I think really pushing ourselves, and you will see, when you will be graduating, you will notice, even from the experiences of your alumni, you notice when you want to push, by the time walikuwa na graduate, probably a good number of them walishapata kazi, sivyo? Yeah, so when you want to push, the networks, we really talk about that. In terms of tuition, if you're planning to apply for Mastercard Foundation Scholarship, they do cover all those for you, and your stipends, coming back home and all that. How to apply the power of the internet. The power of the internet. Nowadays, si lazima, as much as we were really lucky to be in Equity Group Foundation, I know some of you are, but I also have a lot of friends when you are applying to Kibiao. Yeah. They sat down, they went to the internet, found these opportunities. Now they reached out to us, hey Dave, how do you do this? Then they got the scholarship. So don't feel that, okay, I'm not in Equity Group Foundation or the leadership program, so I cannot really qualify for this. So come up on the internet, there's a lot of opportunities in Akujanga around November every year. So if you're someone who's thinking about masters abroad, be a friend of the internet. See US pekee, kuna US, kuna Canada, kuna South Africa, hata kuna USIU. Yeah? So there are many opportunities that you can really tap into. Yeah, just wanted to feel nice by sharing a part of my university. But I think we are really in a good space for us to find these opportunities kupata wenye wanakuja to share their journey so that tunaweza relate kidetu. Sindio? Some of us, we are living the same life, right? And some of us, the first time when I attended the Wings to Fly Congress, there was a panel of university students, and most of them, actually all of them, were in the local universities. And when I was seated, I used to be very quiet. When I was seated somewhere, I say, you know what, one day, I want to go to Nairobi University. Then, kidogo, we were exposed to the global opportunity studying abroad. I said, okay, so it's possible, so I can do it. Right? So I hope each one of us will challenge ourselves and find the paths where we want to be. So that one day we can also share our experiences. And again, it's up to the simple step. How do you support your family? How do you support your friends? Sometimes you might think like, oh, okay, we've really achieved it. No, we are also still learning, but we also started by the simple steps in school. So otherwise, I wish you the best. We'll be here. I know we'll share a lot. And I can tell everyone who's in this room is really thirsty for opportunities and self-growth and development. We wish you the best. We'll support you. And reach out to us either in LinkedIn. We'll be there to support each one of you. Thank you.